So here we are at week 5 with pillar number 2. It's our mini lecture regarding proposals. Our previous video covered pillar number 1, which was a connection of our previous learning from previous weeks to this week's learning with proposals. And this video will cover pillar number 2, a specific look at proposals. We'll continue our discussion with how a proposal looks at a problem and offers a reasonable, viable, and affordable solution. Plus, we're going to add to that with this mini lecture, we're going to take a glance at the syllabus to see what's due. We're going to take a peek at Rogerian argument. You're not assigned that reading, but it's something I'm throwing in here for free. We'll look at the proposal or the invention for the proposal, and we'll look at presentation requirements. So here's a glance at our syllabus for week 5. It may have changed slightly for your cohort, but it'll basically be the same. We have our readings. The most important reading is chapter 11 for proposals. Who pays for my time off is what we will annotate and discuss this week. So you'll turn in your text annotation on who pays for my time off. There are details in the Moodle about that, and then we will also discuss who pays for my time off. So of course it would be best if you annotate before you discuss. And then be sure to glance at chapter 32 to prepare for your presentation. The presentation is worth 30 points overall. It's 25 points for the presentation and then 5 points for classmate replies in the forum. So please see details in the forum about that. And your invention is due for the proposal. You'll note that your proposal is not due yet this week. It's due next week. So you're analyzing your audience for that proposal and getting your invention ready. And then you have some weekly exercises. Let's first look at the invention because it's your writing plan and it's where you look at your audience and where you get everything together that you'll need for that presentation and your essay. So basically, we write proposals to help readers understand causes and effects of a problem and to persuade them that your step-by-step plan offers the best solution for that problem. So they should be clearly written and persuasive with strong logic, appropriate appeals to credibility and to emotion. Let's stop right there. Okay, let's break down what a proposal is and what it does. First of all, let's get an idea in our minds. So I just put a proposal up here, a very fun proposal, but some people take it seriously. There are several nations who use the midday nap, and there are some companies here in the US that use it as well. So for the sake of an example, we're going to look at this proposal. Businesses should offer a midday nap to employees. Okay, so first of all, proposals written to, 1, help readers understand the causes and effects of a problem. So right away we see point number 1, we're going to have to show our readers that the current business model of no napping at the workplace is a problem. So why is it a problem? Well, that's where we're going to go into logos. I would say a topic like napping needs lots of logic behind it and lots of evidence supporting your facts. You're going to need examples of what's happened at other businesses. You're going to need statistics, and you're going to need some psychological evaluation, some psychological, what's the word I'm looking for? Experiments, psychological experiments. So first of all, I'm going to look at the causes and effects of not having a midday nap. So first of all, the problem, of course, you could say, so here I'm not being extremely serious because it's not too serious of a topic, but just a quick Google picture shows us we're running on empty, we're tired at work, We're not getting much done. I love this poster. It says, fatigue is a tired, exhausted state that occurs when the body lacks a sufficient amount of sleep. Nobody understands that, right? Signs of fatigue: headaches, weakness, muscle pain, dizziness, blurry vision, memory loss, poor coordination, etc. And of course, the favorite is the dog that's just worn out at his laptop. So we've seen the effects of fatigue at the workplace, and you could seriously go on to talk about, with logic, how these effects they create a problem at the workplace where employees are not giving their employer their best, they're not sharp like they should be. So then you start with a step-by-step plan that offers the best solution to this fatigue, and that is a midday nap. Now this plan should be laid out in steps. So you might tell your boss, you know what, we have time for lunches, so why not create a little bit of time to help people rejuvenate, get their energy back, and be more efficient at the workplace. So you would set up a step-by-step plan. And again, this is just a quick example, just lighthearted. Yours would be much more thought through. But like your steps, number one, you tell your boss, all we need to do is find a comfortable place. Number two, we need to have a timer in there. A cat nap, 10 to 15 minutes tops, is what a person needs to be rejuvenated. That place needs gentle music. We need personal eye patches to help the person rest, maybe possible optional breathing exercises, and from that the employer is going to come out from this midday nap with refreshment and ready to continue with the day's work. So you have this step-by-step plan. Now you need to show why it's the best solution for that problem. And there again, you'll go back to your logos, you'll go back to the evidence that you have, to those psychological studies that have been done, and appeal to the credibility of these studies, and maybe even put some emotion in it as to how the workday is going to go so much smoother if the employee is rested. Let's go on. Proposals should be clearly written and persuasive. Someone has asked me before, you know, how does a proposal differ from a persuasive paper? Persuasive paper, you're just trying to, you're just trying to get the reader to agree with you in some way. A proposal, you're trying to get the reader to buy your solution. So persuasion, you just say, hey, agree with me. But a proposal is going to go beyond that, agree with me, to put my plan into action. It works for me, it should work for you. Let's just take a quick look at a Rogerian argument. Here are some pictures of Carl Rogers, for whom we name the Rogerian argument. Simply put, Rogers says this: people should not respond to each other until they could fully, fairly, and even sympathetically state the other person's position. So this again is just a little bit of free advice that I wanted to throw out to you. As you're working on your presentation for your proposal, be thinking about how you can sympathetically state the other person's position and have them realize that you understand where they are and you are here to help them. You are here to give them a solution that's going to meet their needs. So that's a quick example of what a Rogerian argument is and how you can bring it into your proposal. Let's look again at the rest of the proposal invention. This is just like the invention for your other work. Work on points A through E in the document. Really look at your readers. Who are your readers? Are you making this proposal to your boss at work, to a supervisor? If so, really think about their expectations, when they'll be reading it, and so forth. Follow the directions listed in Moodle regarding this invention. Think about your readers' personal values and how you can approach those values in this proposal. Think about their customs and their attitudes. And then you're going to get into your writing plan. It's not an outline yet, it's a writing plan. where you can state your purpose very clearly in your thesis statement. Make sure you narrow your subject, find your angle, get your research in here. I want to see at least 3 sources you plan to use to support your proposal. And then definitely remember the cost and benefits in your proposal. So back to the example with the napping, what is that going to cost my employer to have people take a 10 to 15 minute nap? It is going to cost something, but hopefully I can show him that the benefits outweigh that cost. So complete this invention. I'll check on it before you begin your final draft. So once you have your invention together, you're pretty much ready for your presentation. Let's take a look at it. Now your presentation should be mostly focused on that audience. The point here is to really think about who you're persuading and who you're proposing these steps to. So you're going to analyze your audience for the most part. You're going to demonstrate to your classmates who your audience is, what their attitudes are toward the subject, their cultural, ethical beliefs, and how you anticipate they will respond to your proposal. So it's just going to be a brief overview. Once you do your audience analysis, you'll just have a brief overview of your proposal. So just pretty much in a snapshot, tell us what your problem is, the causes and effects of those problems. But most of it is going to be focused on your audience. So this presentation, target about 4 minutes. Some students go closer to 10 minutes. Just keep your audience in mind. That is your Baker audience. Of at least 4 visual aids or slides. Make sure you have sound, website, video, or something in there to keep us interested. And please view the rubric. So you'll upload that presentation to the forum, and the rest of us will take a look at it. And this is where I want the classmates to chime in, ask questions to the presenter about his audience or her audience, ask questions about the proposal, and I really want to use this as feedback to help you strengthen your proposal, because you will not have written your proposal yet. You'll have your invention and your audience analysis for this presentation. Upload it to the forum, we'll talk about it, and hopefully help you sharpen it up before you put it into essay format. So that is it for the second pillar, where we looked more in depth at proposals. Thanks.